Then, hello, 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 artsy queens. It's me, Rachel Bellamy, aka Queenpreneur on social media channels, and today I am sharing a special treat. So, several people have said, "Oh, I would love to put your collage papers in my art," and I said, "Huh, okay, let's see what we can do." So I am happy to let you know that I have released 3 sets of my collage papers, and I'm just going to show them to you. So there's the blue, which is the Indigo set. There is this set, which is known as African Textiles, and then there is a 3rd set called Mud Cloth. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch cameras so that you can see them, but each of them is I think like 12 pages of pieces that you can use of my art and add it to your collage pieces, your art journals, and I'm going to show you how I would use them. I'm going to play with them and give you some ideas. And so let's change cameras. Okay, bye. Oh, and if you want to know what's going on with the hair, this is what is known as Corona hair. This is what is, I miss my beautician, but we're going with it, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll see you on the other camera. Bye. Okay, so let's look at what we got. So there's 3 sets. They are the Indigo, the Mud Cloth, and the African Textiles. Please let me know if you'd like to learn how I made these, because that would be fun too. So let's start with the mud cloth. First, each of these are hand painted, hand drawn, and watercolored, right? Each of these are made with watercolors. So if you are a watercolor artist, you're going to quickly realize that I am an acrylic artist who was dabbing in watercolors, and you can tell by my strokes and my methods, but I like it, right? It's definitely unique. We're gonna hold it. We're gonna just hold it. All right, so this is my Indigo set, and you get 3 long pieces, and you can cut up as you wish. So what my thinking and how I like to use them. So I like to use people's collage pieces in my art, and I like to have large pieces to play with. Now, I may only use that little snippet in a piece, but I like the option of having long pieces, because in case I need a long piece, right? So in my mud cloth series, in the Indigo set, I put 7, there are 7 pieces of which I'm giving you elements from, right? So if you were to see the original, and I don't have the original, yes I do, kind of, but in a small. So this piece here is actually painted on a watercolor piece originally that is 6 by 9.5, and my original is for sale on my Etsy store. And then if you noticed, when I was giving my intro, I actually had on a shirt that is this material, or this print, right? And so I am thinking about releasing doing a little free kind of online tutorial course, if you will, on how you too can take your jelly prints and turn them into actual products, right? But that's another idea. So let me know if you guys are interested in some of my ideas. Okay, so back to my collage or my artist papers, right? You can use them in collage, you can use them in your art journal, you can do what you want with them, right? You can use them on tags, you can use them in books, altered books, junk journals, scrapbooks. So you get 3 long pieces, and I have them out of order now, I apologize. Okay, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long or strips, and these show you the 7 different the 7 different indigo prints, but they're pieces of it, right? So I put a portion of it, and you can just use a portion of it in your art. Now I have printed these on resume paper, so they have good work. I mean, good weight. You can print them on regular copy paper, but for my own purposes, how I like to art, I like to put them in my art journals or in my collages, and I like the feel of resume paper. It takes the color very well and the ink very well. Okay, so this one has 5, and you see they're different. So they're different portions of the picture, but I like this piece, and so what I was doing was I was trying to find the pieces that I liked in the original, and then make them so that you had them. So here is a similar sheet to this other one, just of different pieces. So I gave you 2 of this one and 2 of that one, and I gave you 1 of this one. And then I have them in just different parts of it. Like this is that one, but it's not. This one I'm highlighting here. This one I'm highlighting the repetition. Here you get almost the whole piece. Here is more of the piece, but they're very small. You could put these on like a tag. They make a great little ATC. You could add a little tip in. These could be used like a little stamp, a little piece you can add to it. You can cut these, fussy cut these out. I have these circles, these wonky circles, which I think are great. They make great collage pieces, focal points in a page, and you'll notice they're different. And I am going to make a little change to these because all this space, especially if you're going to print them on onion skin, that's a lot of space that you didn't use. And so I'm going to add a background that you can also utilize in when you print it off. It'll be some kind of background, probably a text or something, or my marks or something. We'll put something there. Okay, so that would be the Indigo set. And my friend and design team colleague has used this set already. She's used this set and created this beautiful princess, and I will tag you all. I'll put it on my page so you can see that. Okay, and so here is the mud cloth, and I'm gonna lean in just a little bit so you can see my shirt. See? This is my mud cloth set. So it's a red one, a yellow one, this orangey brownish, very much like the colors of mud cloth. I'm not feeling my light today. Okay. And here are 5. Two of them, I got 2 reds, 2 of the brownish, but I got different portions of it. Let me show you. The actual piece looks like this, but it's a bigger piece. And so I took a piece of this. I took a piece. Oh, that's a different one. Yeah, that's a different one. That's interesting. So that is this. Nope. That is this one, and that comes from this one. So these are 2 different pieces. This is a brown mud cloth, and that's an orangey brownish mud cloth. And okay, so there's this piece and this one. This is a new piece you haven't seen. Here's some other little pieces. If you look at some of the bigger pieces, you can see more details of the 6. I think it's a total of 7 that I actually gave you. Yeah, you can tell from here I actually gave you 9 different pieces. So there's 9 pieces, and I give you little components of them. The stamp, the wonky circles, in 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, oh yeah, this one has 2 on it just because they're so cute. A little biased, right? Anyway, all right. And here's one of my favorites. Okay, and last but not least, I'm gonna put my little, is my African textile piece. Ooh, the details in this one, right? So this one, again, was watercolor, and I'll tell you how I did this later in the video. So you have this piece, and red is my primary color in these pieces. Red, like this piece is a part of that one. This is a different one. This is a different one. This is a different one. So you see there's 6 different pieces. And you could use a portion, you could use the whole piece. This is a different one that I don't have anywhere else except for right there. I have that as a scarf. And I tried to give you different sizes of them to use in your art. Oops, sorry. I was enjoying them. The wonky circles. Okay. So these are available if you go to soulrainacademy.com, and you can click on them individually and purchase them, or you can buy them in the bundle. The bundle is the best deal. But let's just have a little play, shall we? I think what I was laughing at is I'm doing color swatches. I'm doing my wall swatches. Let me show you real quick, sidebar. One of the things that I do to get familiar with my materials is I make these color wall charts. It helps me see what colors I have, and I would say what I'm missing, but clearly I'm not missing any colors. So it just helps me when I'm making selections. I make these little wall charts, and I'm making the one for my blues and my yellows and my oranges. So my favorite colors are not here. But that's not going to stop us. We're still going to create, and I don't know what we're going to do. So I'm going to probably stop talking and just start creating, and you can watch along with me. All right, shall we begin? So I decide to use my ancient love journal. So this journal is it's a theme journal, if you will, and I try to put stuff in it that explores, love and the heart. And okay, so confession, I am a romantic, right? I love poetry and music and art, right? Because of the beauty is in the eye of the beholder in all 3 of those situations, right? Like what poetry is beautiful to me may not be beautiful to you, but because it's the beholder brings something to it. So in this journal, I wrestle with matters of the heart in this one. And as I said, I'm a hopeless romantic, and so I am picking my quote to include here. And this quote says, "The wound is the place where the light enters in," by Rumi. And what a profound quote, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so what am I doing here? The dance always begins for me with making a selection, right? And my selection really is all heart. It's all, I'm listening to myself. What do I want? I'm not really looking for, some people are very calculated. They want a certain color, want it to look a certain way. I don't bring that. I am very much in the process, in the moment, just allowing myself to play, the freedom to play, but not play in the sense like I don't take it seriously, but play in the sense that it's fun for me, right? Like it's an opportunity for me to pause. In my crazy world, I go 800 miles an hour, and so in this minute, I'm slowed down to 5 miles an hour, and I enjoy taking that time to go at that pace. Although I've sped it up quite a bit here, I actually, if you could hear the audio in this particular session, normally I have music playing, and I'm actually it's complete silence. You hear a little humming while I'm working on this time. Normally I have the music going, I'm jamming, but apparently I really just need some quiet. So I'm ripping my pieces, and I'm just trying to find some pieces, things that I think will work. I remember when I was earlier in this journey, I was studying, the principles of art and, composition, line, all that great stuff. And so I know all of that, and I think with time, I
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. Like, I know what the rules are, but I don't necessarily harp on them. I think that's sometimes what happens and what limits artists is they're focused on the rules or the structure or the way they're supposed to be, versus just allowing themselves to create. Because what happens is there is an innate creator within us, right? And if you just tap into that, it comes out, right? And I think we actually, when you look at art history or how art criticism came about, is the artist created, and then people came behind them and said, well, why did this work, right? Like, and so then they tried to dissect it and figure it out, and then that became the rules and the law. But that's not actually how the artist created it first. And so anyway, I say all that to say is, yes, in my back of my mind, I'm thinking about composition. I'm thinking about balance. I'm thinking about what does the eye have space to rest? I'm thinking about all that, but not thinking about that. What I'm really focused on is, how does it make me feel? What do I want to express? What am I feeling at that moment? And that's what I'm trying to do. So, but what you see me here is cut a bunch of pieces out and lay them around. I do this little dance. I audition a piece here. I put it there. All the while knowing that it won't look anything like this, but this is a part of the dance, and I enjoy the dance. And so I must be looking for something here. I went away. Where did I go? Here I am. Hi, hands. Okay, so that's what it is. I am preparing for my next step. So I take a picture, because that is a protocol. Take a picture. Even though you may not remember where you want it, but I take a picture. And I'm auditioning. Do I want to use a stencil on top or throw the stencil in the back? This is definitely the dance. So, as you see, I've used the Indigo paper pack, and I've cut 4 pieces from the pack. It looks like 3 are from one design and 1 is from another design. The reason why they can go together is because I'm using the same color blue. I'm using the same indigo watercolor, so they kind of definitely go together. Oh, I grabbed another piece from the indigo pack. I realized that on one page I have these very long structural pieces, on the other I'm missing some things. So anyway, right now as I give you this voiceover, I'm doing way more analysis and thinking than I was in that moment. In that moment, I was probably thinking about that quote. It's probably what I do. Oftentimes that's why I like pulling out a quote, because while I'm working, I just focus on the quote and what that means to me, and why that quote right now is speaking to me, and what do I need from the quote? Like, what do I need from the quote? But so these pieces here, you're probably wondering, well, where'd you get these other pieces? So I mentioned earlier that I am doing a color study, and so they were scraps just laying around. All right, and the fun part starts. So I am going to swipe and remove all the little pieces. At least I'm going to put the right pieces on the right side and the left pieces on the left side, even though they won't end up like that in the end. So I always fondle the page. No, seriously though, it is a very it's a process, right? So here I am. What I'm about to do is I'm about to lay down some paint in the background, because what I don't like is I don't want my collage images to just sit on the paper. I want them to become one with the paper, and the way that I do that is by creating these large expressive marks in the background so that the collage has something to rest into as opposed to sitting on. Okay, nevertheless, I am going through a stencil. The stencil is an eye stencil. I think it may be Jones or it may be Patty's. Either way, you can find it under Patty Tolly Parrish in eye stencil, one of their stencils. And I'm doing this. You see me dance? You saw me dance? I really am dancing back there. Okay, so I'm realizing that I have none of the colors that I want, but I need something to give it some weight in the background. So what's a girl to do? A girl says, what is close? And I have these 2 purple colors next to me. And I'm trying to see if I have them at my desk right now. They're missing, but they are like deep purple, something from Blick. and maybe the burgundy from Blick. But what I have learned in color mixing, if you want your colors to be cohesive, what you do is you add like a mother color in it. And so I'm going to add some blue, that blue that I used in that stencil. I'm going to add some blue into the, yeah, apparently somebody else wanted to join it. But I add some blue. Okay, so I mix the two purples, the burgundy and the purple, and then I add a little Reese blue in there because that's my mother color. So it's going to help it unify with the picture because it shares the same color. That's just a little tip, little color mixing tip. There it is. Hi. Look at that. Yummy, yummy. All right, and we're just gonna mix it, and the fun shall begin now. Okay, so here we're gonna go make these big expressive marks to get it all out. And when I tell you I'm gonna get it all out, I am working it out right here. Woo! If y'all can hear my thoughts, sorry, but seriously though, I am going for it. Why? Because I'm working through that quote, right? I mean, the quote's about wounds and scars and how we hide. And, reality is if we've been wounded, most of us, we try to protect ourselves from being hurt again, right? So we put that wound under a bandage and we hide that part of ourselves. But this quote is reminding us that, you put that wound behind a bandage, no light can get in, but light is actually supposed to get in. That broken spot is where love is going to shine through if you allow it. So anyway, I'm working it out. I'm scrubbing it out. I'm processing it all. And as you know, your girl does not like to waste paint. So we have an extra little step called the cleanup paint step. Now you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but for me, I just mixed that yummy color over there. I am going to use it all. And so here I am. I'm putting it on my jelly plate and putting it down. Watch this. Oh, gorgeousness. What a beautiful stencil. But again, your girl don't like to waste no paint, so I'm gonna get all the yummy goodness off the side there. There's still some that jelly plate looks wet. There you go. I put some onion skin on there. As you notice, I've cut my onion skin down. I have a pile that's kind of smaller because I don't like to waste it. So I cut a little pile down, and there you go. Trying to get all of it up. Oh, look at that. Plate is almost clean. The fun. All right, here we go. What did I say last time? Dance break? That's some good music, right? Okay, here we go. So we are just cleaning up our brayer, cleaning up our paint, and now let's go back to the collage. I really wanted to use that craft paint, that craft piece of paper there. It's not gonna make it, just so you know. I'm helping it dry. I'm drying it off my palette. My palette still had some yummy goodness on it, so I'm just getting it off of there. And let's do this. Let's glue it down. It's time to commit. It's time to commit. It's time to commit. Let's go, Rachel. Let's glue it. Okay, but seriously though, I was probably processing still. Yes, this is what happened. I realized, I got a lot going on my back here. Like, maybe I was processing too much. And so what I try to do is kick it back a little bit. I put on some buff, Dina Wakley buff, just to kind of soften it up a little bit. And I really don't know where I'm going here at this point, because there's always that point where it's like, was that the right decision? I felt like it needed it, and so honestly, that's what you go with. You go with what did it feel like it needed. Okay, here's the part, the glue part, the glue. And we start gluing. We start to gluing. I really enjoy this part of the dance because, again, you've already saw me dance once, and I thought I liked it. But as we processed, the quote, the emotions of the day, I realized I don't really like that heavy, thick craft paper. So I'm going to keep dancing until I find the sweet spot. The spot where your heart looks at the page and it says, that's it. So as I'm just going to keep moving stuff around until I get to that point. I want to use that piece. So that's why I'm literally allowing her to dance all across the page. And that's where she lands. Well, happy home for you. Okay, and so I'm going to start gluing. Whoa, that was a lot of glue. That's one way to do it. Just drop it all down there. Apparently I squeezed too hard. It happens. Yes. I see you, bro. I see you. Glue it. Dance break. What? I didn't think that piece made it. Apparently it does make it. So the fact that I don't remember it being there means that I'm going to do something to it to kick it back, because I don't remember seeing it when I'm finished. You don't. Alrighty. So another little tip. I'm going to get to a point here where I have all these pieces glued, and I have a lot of pieces glued, but they're not a cohesive piece. And so similar to my tip about mixing paint, about using a mother color to make sure your paints all kind of work together, the same principle kind of applies here, right? So what I'm going to do after I have laid all the pieces down is I'm going to add some layers and some color, kind of my mother color, and also we're going to call it my daddy color, which would be my contrast color, my go-to color. And I'm going to just kind of place it down to try to bring all the pieces together. So you'll see me do that in a minute. Right now I'm just trying to make sure I get all the loose pieces. Yeah, go. Apparently I'm a heavy-handed gluer. And that is some expensive glue, but it works. I will say it does work, and it keeps your stuff down, but it's not like it's Elmer glue cheap, right? But I do like it. So now I'm just kind of cleaning up some of the pieces on the side here. Apparently I have no idea or concept of scissors. I think it's something organic about just ripping them with your hands, right? Like I am totally immersed in this process. I wish you guys could just hear the silence in the room. It is just me, my thoughts, and the ripping of the paper going on right here. And so I'm adding some vellum. Actually I'm adding some onion skin in various parts, because when I add my, I'm going to use some dye ink that I put into watercolor brushes. Hey, head. I'm going to use that dye ink to bring the page together. Yeah. Right here I'm trying to unclog my glue tip so I don't have to use so much glue. I have a question. Here's my question. Would you guys rather watch someone glue down pieces or watch paint dry? Anyway, all right, so as I was saying, here's the part where I have some blue dye ink, Seth Apter's Eyes Ink in a water brush pen, and I am just taking that. I think the color is Blue Moon, but in this case I think I mixed it with some licorice, so it might just be the Blue Moon. It looks like it's just a strong blue moon, as I can see at the seam. So I am just taking that, I'm making marks, I'm unifying the paper, and I'm putting this color everywhere to kind of give it kind of pull it all together like it's one piece as opposed to a collection of little pieces. And yes, this is where the piece starts singing the happy song. I add this rust. I think it's actually his tea, Seth Apter's Eyes Ink tea, the dye ink spray, and then the tea color. And I add it to various parts of the onion skin that's on the page. And I just love what it does for the page, how it brings it together. And so I am going to see. I finished. I'm going to add some more pieces. That's why I don't remember that craft piece of paper. Because I cover it up. That's why I don't remember seeing that big old piece of craft paper in the end. Okay, so I'm adding some more pieces, which is why the paper pack, I give you so many options. And if there's a page that you like more than once, print it off a couple times. I have printed the long strip page like 10 times because I like the long strips. I am using a archival ink in one of the blues. I don't have them handy, so it's not very helpful. I think it's either the Faded Jeans or the Cobalt. So again, add more details to unify and highlight my focal point. So at this point, my focal point is the quote. That's what I spent most of my focus on. And so because I fell in love with the way that color looked, I painted it completely in this color just because I wanted you to go, whoa, what does that say? And then I'm wiping it off, and because I don't want to lose that dye, yummy, I kind of smush it with another piece of onion skin and like that little piece element so much that it instantly got glued down. I grabbed some stamps because I like stamps, and I'm going to stamp a couple spaces. Again, I'm just adding details to unify the piece so that it becomes one piece. This 2-page spread becomes one piece, unifying it on both sides with some stamping. And somewhere I've gone away. There we go. I must have had to find the black ink or something. I think I used that same blue. I may have used black. I think I used black. Yeah, because it's going to be kind of dark. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you would leave me a comment, I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts about art journaling, about how you process your emotions through art. And thank you for being here on this journey with me and allowing me a vulnerable space to tell my truth, right? I think we all need a space to tell our truth. I have learned that it's important to share it because it might help someone. You never know. They may hear something that at that moment they need to hear. Apparently I want to show you pieces of the printout. I would encourage you to check out the sampler. There's a free sampler. I decided to give a couple pages away free just so you can actually see how they print and see if you like them before committing to buying them. I would love if you do buy it to show me what you create. Tag me on Instagram. I am Queenpreneur on Instagram. I have my details in the description box. Just tag me in it. I would love to, and I would love to highlight you on my site too, with maybe some of the work that you create. So yeah, I love to stamp. I don't know why, but I do. I get lost in that process too. It was a good quote, right? It was a good quote. Good thing to remember. The light must come through. Oh, I also remember processing about the quote was, I thought I would share this with you. There is I think it's a Japanese tradition where if a glass vase or something breaks, they don't throw away the piece of it, but rather they fill it up. They try to recreate it, and they fill in the holes with like gold, right? I think that's just amazing. And so I remember thinking about that while I was creating, about how, that part about the wounding and the light coming through made me think about that Japanese art tradition of mending with gold, right? If only we would allow our hearts to mend with gold, right? So I am, again, still unifying the page. I love this color here. And I love being able to apply it with this brush. Like now, had I sprayed it, it would have been everywhere. But because I put it in the water brush, I can control where it goes. I can squeeze more in areas. I can squeeze less out in areas. And I'm just kicking back that gold a little bit. And there's the finished product. I wanted you to see some up close pieces. I have so enjoyed our time today. I hope you enjoyed this piece. I hope you'll check out my printables Thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again, may your soul reign. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until then, be blessed. Bye-bye.